everyone. Welcome to our Midday Stretch Express. My name is Elizabeth. I am the Health and Fitness Coordinator in Bedford, and today we're going to go through a nice, relaxing stretching flow. It'll be 30 minutes long. All you need is a mat, and we're going to start with standing stretches and then end up making our way down to the mat, finishing laying down. So if you're ready to get started, let's get going. Grab my water. Starting standing, we're going to start with some neck rolls. So bringing your chin down to meet your chest, rolling up and back clockwise. Letting go of any tension in that neck. Looking up to the ceiling and then down to the floor. Maybe close your eyes while you're doing these neck rolls. Now we're going to switch directions. All right, now we're going to get into some shoulder rolls, okay? So rolling your shoulders back towards the back of the room. And then forward. Working out any knots in those shoulder blades, which might have built up during the day from sitting at your desk. All right, next up we're going to reach your arms up to the sky and look up to the ceiling. Imagine you're holding a ball between your hands here. And then bring your gaze back to neutral and bend your torso to the right and to the left. All right. Now you're going to do a little bit of a back bend, so with those arms still up, you're going to just slightly bend backwards, feeling that stretch around your armpits as you reach up towards the sky, and feeling that stretch in your low back as well. All right, great job. You can bring your arms down, shake them out a little bit, get that blood flow back. Now we're going to bring our arms back up, but this time we're going to goal post them out. Okay, so pretend like your arms are a goal post at a 90-degree angle at the elbow there. And then you're going to bring those elbows down towards the floor, squeezing the shoulder blades together as if you're squeezing a grape between your shoulder blades, squishing it. And then bring your arms back up towards the ceiling, reaching up overhead, and then back down, goal post, and then squeezing down. It's a great postural stretch. Just cycle through this a handful of times, syncing your breath up with the movements. Keeping your neck nice and neutral here, so you're not craning your neck forward or leaning forward. You're standing up nice and tall with your glutes tucked in and your neck is upright as opposed to craning forward, which is something that can naturally happen if we don't pay attention because we're so often, in our devices on the computer with our neck forward. All right, now you can let your arms down again, shake them out. We're going to do a little bit of a shoulder stretch. So you're going to grab your left arm with your right hand. So kind of grab onto that tricep area in the back of your arm, near your elbow, and then gently pull your left arm to the right of the room. So towards your right side body. And you should feel this stretch all back here, the back of your shoulder here. And as you're pushing it out towards the right of your body, you're also kind of pushing your arm in towards your body a bit. Should deepen that stretch. Again, don't force that movement. You want it to be a gentle stretch, gentle but deep, nothing too strenuous. You don't want to tweak any muscles here. All right, now we're going to switch sides. And you might find one side is a little bit more tight than another side. It's very normal. We all have little imbalances here and there in our body. It's just good to be aware of them so that then maybe we can stretch a little bit longer on the side that's a little tighter. All right, now we're going to go into a tricep stretch. So you're going to take your left arm up, overhead, and then pat your back with your left hand here. And then grab or just lightly, hold on to your left elbow, tip of your left elbow with your right hand. And cradle your head and neck back into your arms here as you gently push your left arm down and your left hand back down your back. So you should feel a nice deep stretch in your tricep. Taking some nice deep breaths. Feeling good about taking this time out for yourself to stretch and connect with your body and your breath. All right, switch sides. Right hand now patting your back, right arm gently being pushed down by your left hand, cradling your head and neck into your arms here. You see me swaying side to side here. I'm a little antsy because I haven't gotten too much movement in today. I've been sitting for quite a bit. So that's just why I'm swaying side to side. I can't help it. All right. Let your arms down, shake them out. And now we're going to go into a standing quad stretch. So you can grab your right foot with your right hand. So bring your right foot back towards your behind here. Grab onto that right foot. And if this is a little tough for your balance, then do this near a wall so you can hold onto the wall, brace yourself on the wall with your left hand here. Okay. And then you're going to gently pull that foot up until you feel that stretch all up in your quad here. Then we're just going to hold for a bit. Standing up nice and tall. Focusing on the breath. This might be a tricky one for balance, and you might feel those little tiny muscles in your feet and legs start to activate and get a little shaky as you're challenging your balance and working these muscles that might get a little bit neglected. So focusing on your breath can be a great way to stay stable in these balancing moves. Calm your body down and focus your attention on your breath as opposed to getting a little rattled and distracted by the shakiness and then, falling over. All right, switch legs. So grab your left foot with your left hand behind your back here, standing up nice and tall, maybe bracing yourself against the wall, and gently pulling your foot sort of like up to the sky a tiny bit. You should feel that stretch in the front of your leg, thigh area. All right, and let that go now. So now you're going to squat a little bit as you extend your arms overhead, look up to the sky, and then dive down into a forward fold. So you're going to really let it all go in this stretch. And if, you're not, I don't expect you to be able to touch the ground. That's not the goal here. It's just to stretch down and just sort of let your torso hang as far down as you might be able to go comfortably. You're going to feel this in your hamstrings, feel this maybe in your calves a little bit, in your back. You want to have a nice bend in your knees so you're not hyperextending anything here. Maybe you just sway side to side a little bit. All right, now you're going to go to a halfway lift. So bring your hands up onto your shins and then roll those shoulders back. Your neck is nice and neutral. You want to imagine you have a very, maybe you're balancing something on your back here. So you want a really straight back and neck. And then forward fold again. And then come all the way up. Raise those arms overhead. We're going to go through this a couple more times. And you can just do this a couple more times on your own. You don't have to follow my exact same pacing. I'm folding back over now. Listen to your body. All right, and now I'm going into a flat back, squeezing those shoulder blades together. Forward folding down again. Nice hamstring stretch, it feels good. And then rolling up one vertebrae at a time to standing with arms overhead. All right, let's do this one more time. So sweep those arms overhead, dive down, forward fold. Let it all out. Maybe close your eyes here for a moment. All right, into halfway lift, flat back, neutral neck, forward fold, and then slowly roll up to standing. You can bring your arms overhead one more time if you want, just to finish it off. All right, we're now going to get into a plank. Don't worry, we won't be there too long. This isn't a workout, but we're going to get flowing to some moves down the mat from the plank, okay? So starting out in a high plank here, and if that is a little tough for you, that's okay. Just put your knees down on the mat. Starting out on in a high plank, let's just hold this for like 3 seconds here. 3, 2, 1. And then down into a downward facing dog. Pedaling those feet out. Tucking that chin into the chest a bit, looking towards the back of the room, towards your legs. Feeling that nice full body stretch through your calves, through your back, through your shoulders, as you pedal it out here. All right. Now just hold still. Stop the pedaling for a moment here. And then we're going to glide back into that plank and then either lower the knees and lower down onto your chest or stay into that full plank and slowly lower down. So you're on the chest here, your stomach, I should say. From there, we're going to go into a bit of a back bend. So your hands are going to be placed on the mat near your armpit area. So just to the outside of your armpit area. And then you're gently gonna push up. And you can either just stop right here, just whenever you feel that stretch really activate in a deep way, you can stop. So you might be able to go all the way up here, have a really deep back bend, or that might be way too uncomfortable. You might have some low back issues, in which case just do a teeny little move here and hold it. All right, and we can lower down, back into plank, back into downward dog, pedaling down, and then moving back into plank as you step your right foot out to the outside of your right hand into a lunge. From here, you're going to extend your left arm overhead, looking up to the sky. And if you have a yoga block, this might be a great time to use it. You can prop it up right next to your foot and let your hand rest there. If this is a bit of a tough one for you without a yoga block, you can also just use a dictionary or really big book as well. Hold this here for a few moments. All right, bring that left hand back down to the mat, your knees down to the mat, and we're going to just quickly rest into extended child's pose here. So bring your knees out to the outer edges of the mat, toes touching, and then sink your hips back and down. Bring your head down on the mat. Getting a great hip stretch here. Focusing on the breath, flowing in and out. All right, back into tabletop position, into plank, and downward dog. All right, we're gonna float back into that plank quickly, and then just step that left foot to the outside of your left hand. And you're going to switch sides so you can see me. You're going to place that, oh, that didn't work. Actually, yes. So left foot is in a lunging position, and it's outside of your left hand, and then you're going to reach that arm overhead, looking to the sky. Sorry guys, got a little confused there. My rights and my lefts. Clearly still figuring it out after all these years. I'm gonna hold here for a little bit, just getting this nice deep hip flexor stretch. Sitting at a desk can cause our hip flexors to get really tight, which can cause us some issues. So this is a good opportunity to stretch those hip flexors out. All right, now back into that tabletop and back into the extended child's pose. So knees and the outer edges of your mat, toes touching, and sink the hips back and down, head touching the mat. Again, let's just connect to our breath while we're here.
Yeah, I was just gonna get like a little one and have this thing. It's like a puzzle.
All right,
Thank you.
back into tabletop for a moment as we then sit our behind back onto our heels as we sit up. We're going to do a nice chest opening stretch here. So clasping your fingers behind your back and pushing your hands back and down. Feeling that real deep stretch behind your shoulder blades. And again, keeping that neck nice and straight and tall here. Chin tucked in just a little bit. And if your toes are hurting a little bit from like being on your tiptoes here, you can also just put the tops of your feet fully down on the ground and sit back like that. All right. From here, let's go into some seated toe touches. So you're going to extend your legs out, sitting up, nice and tall. Bring your arms overhead, and then just forward fold over your legs here. And even though I'm calling this a toe touch stretch, you don't have to touch your toes. We all have different ranges of motion and mobility that we're working with, and that's totally fine. We're all unique. And the important thing is really just working with what you've got. So don't overextend yourself. Don't try and really, push yourself to touch your toes if it doesn't feel right, because then you could end up hurting yourself. So really just forward fold over your legs and see where the deepness of that stretch feels good to you, and just hold there for a bit. And the great thing about stretching and flexibility is you can really notice improvement in flexibility from just practicing, honestly, not that long, and just being consistent with it. So, there can be such a big difference in the range of motion you have from stretching like 0 minutes a day to just like 5 minutes a day. So if you, do this video every week, I hope that you start to notice those changes in yourself. All right, sitting back up, let's roll those shoulders back, reset here. Rolling those shoulders back towards the room. Wonderful. Okay, so now you're going to bring your legs out in front of you and extend it out to like a V shape. And now we're going to, again, fold forward between our legs here. And just go down as far as comfortable for you. We're gonna hold here for a little bit. Feels good to stretch, doesn't it? All right. Sitting back up, bringing those legs together. Bring those legs together in front of you. And you're just gonna rotate gently to the right. So put your hands on the outside of your right thigh here, just the side, as you gently twist your torso to the right and center gaze back towards your shoulder and towards the ground. Nice rotational stretch. All right, now we're going to twist to the other side. Bringing those hands to the left, just outside your left thigh here, and bringing your gaze back towards your left shoulder, towards the ground. tucking the chin in towards the chest. And sitting up nice and tall. Might feel your core to start to engage here as well. All right. From here, we're going to go back onto our back. And we're going to continue these rotational stretches we were just doing. So you're going to lay down onto your back. And you're going to put your feet up on the mat, on the floor. Your heels are right near your behind. And you're going to let your knees and your legs gently fall over to the left of your body. Left side of your body. As you turn your head to the right. So looking away from your body. And your arms are extended out. All right, and we're just going to switch sides now. So let your legs fall to the right. You're going to send your gaze over to the left, so away from your body. And have your arms extended out. I'm blocked by the wall here, so I can't fully extend my right arm, but that's okay. Okay, gonna go back into neutral position with your feet on the mat. You're still laying down, and you're going to place your right foot here and right calf over your left thigh. So I can show you from standing what it looks like. So just like that. This is a figure 4 stretch. It looks like, you know, the number 4 when your legs are crossed like that. And this is a great stretch for your glute. So right foot and leg over your left knee here. And then you're going to pick up that left leg and gently grab on to the back of your left thigh. And if it feels good to you, you can pull that left thigh in a little bit towards your chest to deepen the stretch. But only if it feels good to you. I'm just going to hold this for a few moments here. All right. Let those legs come down, feet come down to the mat, and we're going to switch sides. So left foot and calf resting on the top of your right thigh, near your knee, but not on your knee. Don't want to hurt your knee here. Just a little bit underneath it. Grabbing onto the back of that right thigh, interlacing your hands. And if it feels good, just gently pulling that right thigh towards you and your torso. Maybe closing your eyes here. Getting nice and relaxed as we approach the end of this stretch session. All right. You can unravel now, and we can take one last final posture here. Whatever you would like to do. I'm personally going to do happy baby because I think it's a fun one. So I'm going to take the outer edges of both my feet into my hands, extend my feet up towards the sky. My knees are kind of coming into my armpit area here as I push my feet into my hands. And I just sway back and forth a little bit, like happy baby sitting on the ground. Really opening up the hips here. All right.
Sorry about that.
And then just finishing here and completely laying down posture, closing your eyes. Let's take 2 big deep breaths together. In through the nose and out through the mouth. Letting it all go. Any stress you might have been holding on to today. One more time. In through the nose and out through the mouth. All right. Thank you so much for joining me for this stretch session. And I hope you're feeling a little bit more relaxed and flexible. I hope you have a great rest of your day.